Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Beautiful Differences by Palfly Kampling. So it is the first Monday of the month, so we are doing our October theme week. This theme week is parity. Parity is just the mathematical way of saying even or odd. So the parity of a number is whether it is even or odd. So the parity of 2 is even, parity of 3 is odd. And so every single puzzle this week will involve parity in some way. So expect to pull out your crayons. I like to color evens blue and odds orange, but you can use whatever colors you please. And all right, so let's start with this puzzle by Palfly Kampling. We do have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules. So in each row, each column, and each 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have parity difference circles. So a number in a circle indicates the absolute difference between the sum of all odd digits and sum of all even digits in the 4 surrounding cells. That's quite the mouthful, but let's say we had, let's try to come up with an example here. So here it's touching 4 cells here. This 3 is touching 4 cells, meaning that the difference between the sum of the odd digits and the sum of the even digits is 3. If you take the bigger minus the smaller, that's what it means by absolute. So the absolute value of the difference. So it doesn't matter which one you do first. But so let's just say that we have 2, 4 here. That adds to 6. Let's see. This may be part of the puzzle to figure this out, but I'm going to try to come up with an example for you. So if we had, say, 4, 6, that adds to 10. And then we would need the odds to add to 7. So how would we do that? Oh, so we're gonna need 3. Okay, so yeah, that's my issue. Sorry, I'm trying to come up with an example, and it's kind of giving something away, which I apologize, because I haven't thought about this yet. But let's say we do 2, 4, 6 here. Is that gonna work? Okay, I don't know that I can give a good example without working through how this constraint works. But if you add up all the evens and then you subtract the sum of all the odds, it should equal 3 here. Hopefully that helps. I can't come up with a good example, and I feel like that's part of the puzzle, so I'm going to stop now. All right, we also have numbered rooms. So the way these work, we had these recently, is the clue outside the grid is the digit that it's pointing at, and then the digit next to it that's placed here is telling you where that is. So I know that's a little confusing, but let's go over an example. Let's say this was a 3. Then what this is saying is that 3 away from here is the 4. So if we count 1, 2, 3, that is where we put the 4. So this is the digit we're looking at, and this is the index of it. Kind of, if you think about it, it's like the room number. That's why it's called numbered rooms, right? If we're going down a hallway and the rooms are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, then the 4 is in room 3. It goes from the direction of the clue. So if this was a 5, then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we put a 3 there because that's what the clue is. All right, so this is telling you what room this digit is in. All right, and that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. All right, I need to think about how this 3 works because I'm getting confused. So obviously, if you have 2 of the same parity, it's always going to add to an even number. Maybe that's not that obvious, but obviously, no matter how many evens you do, the evens will always add to an even number. An even plus an even is even, but also an odd plus an odd is even. If you want a really good way the whole week to think about parities and sums is that even preserves the parity and odd reverses the parity. So if I have an odd digit like a 3, my sum is odd, the single digit is odd. And if I do another odd digit like a 1 or a 5, then that's going to reverse my parity. And now the sum is going to be even. And if I do another odd digit, then now the sum is odd. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need my odd digits to add to an odd number. So I either need 3 odd digits or 1 odd digit here. And I think the problem is I can't do 1 odd digit because that would mean that I have all 3 evens around here. And that's going to add to 12. And so I don't have a single digit that gets us, back down to 12 minus 3 is 9. I can't put a 9 here. Like if 9 was in the puzzle, I certainly could, but it's not. So I'm going to need 3 odd digits, which means I have the 1, 3, 5 in some order. I'm not placing them. I'm just saying this is where 1, 3, and 5 are used. And so those are going to add to 9. And so then I have it with a 6. So I don't know what order they go in, but this is definitely 1, 3, 5, 6, which does mean these 2 are even because we've used up all the odds over here. Okay. For the 0, I'm going to need an even minus an even. And obviously I can't have only evens. Even though I can repeat digits, only evens doesn't work here because then it would sum to more than 0. So I need 2 evens and 2 odds. Let's see. I wonder if this 5 is helpful at all. So, okay, well, the first thing is you can never put a 1 next to a numbered room clue unless it's a 1 itself, in which case you always put a 1 next to a 1 numbered room clue. So this can't be a 1, because if it was a 1, it's telling us that in this room that the 1 is in, there's also a 5, and we can't put a 5 in a room with a 1 in it already. So this is not a 1, which means that the 5 is either in 3, 5, or 6, which means this can't be the 5, because we can't put a 2 there. All right. Do I think about this 0, or do I have anything else to think about? Maybe I'll think about this 0 some more. So I need 2 evens and 2 odds. Do I know which evens and odds I'm going to do? Well, I certainly can't do 4, 6, because 4, 6 would add to 10, and I can't make 2 odds add to 10. The biggest odds are 3, 5, which add to 8. So if I include a 6, it would have to be 1, 6 adding to 7, which would make this... oh, we can't make 2 odds add to 7. Sorry, 1, 6, 2, 6. Should add 8, which would mean this would be 3, 5. So 2, 6, 3, 5 is a possibility. Or I could do 2, 4 adding to 6. I'm not going to be able to make 2 odds add to 6, because that would have to be 3, 3. No, 1, 5. Sorry, 1, 5 works. What am I talking about? So we could do 2, 4, 1, 5 also. Does that mean the 5 is always used? Yeah. So the issue is 1, 3. 1, 3 is not going to happen. Oh, you know what? I can repeat digits, though. So I actually could do 3, 3. Maybe this isn't a good one to think about. It seems like there's a lot of options. If we couldn't do 3, 3, I think we'd always use a 5, but I don't know that that's actually the case here. All right. So what can we do then? Do we want to think about the 4? So I need an even minus an even. So the even ones are always going to have 2 odds and 2 evens. So and these can't repeat, so that's helpful. So 2 odds, 2 evens, which means this is an odd and an even. So let's mark that, saying there's 1 odd, 1 even here. That's kind of how I'm going to mark that. There's also a 4 numbered room clue sitting here. Is that helpful? I'm not sure. Okay, so let's think about the evens here. If the evens were 2, 4, that's 6. I would need my odds to add to 2, which isn't going to happen. So we're not doing 2, 4, which means there is definitely a 6 involved in here somewhere. Now, if we did 1, 6, 1, 6 again. If we did 2, 6, that's 8. We would need 1, 3 with it. So 2, 6, 1, 3 is possible. The only other option is 4, 6 adding to 10, which make this add to 6, which would be 1, 5. So we always use the 1. We can't do 3, 5 adding to 8 because we can't get 2 evens to add to 12. Okay. So there's always a 1 in here as well. So we need the 2 extremes, the 1 and the 6. Not sure how much that helped. Well, we know this one's not the 1 because, again, the numbered room logic. The other thing we know is that, oh yeah, I could have cleared this one out as well. The numbered room isn't itself, because if this was a 5, it's telling you that over here there's the 5, which repeats in the row. So this isn't a 5. This isn't going to be a 4, which it means that we can't put a 5 here or a 4 here, right? If there was a 5 here, this would have to tell us that it was 5 away, and that's not going to work either. So they kind of go hand in hand. So this isn't 5, this isn't 4, this isn't 2. I wonder how much this helps. So how do I get into here? So 3 or 6. Okay, so that's telling us that the 5 is either here or here. And we marked this blue. We know the 5 is actually down here. So this isn't the 5. So it actually is a 6. That's actually quite helpful. I should have noticed that earlier. That puts the 5 here, which makes it the odd. So now we know this is even. And it's not the 6, so it's 2 or 4. These are a 2, 4 pair. Okay, we have a 2, 4 pair here. So this is the 6 with the odd digit. Oh, and 5 is used over here. So we know that it's 1, 3 adding to 4. So we know that the 1 is somewhere here. We know the 3 is somewhere in here. That adds to 4. And so then the even digits are going to add to 8. I hope I didn't miss a case of like odds being bigger than evens. I said that we couldn't do 2, 4 adding to 6. Can we get odds adding to 10? No. 3, 5 is the biggest. That's 8. Yeah, okay, so we're good. Just wanted to double check that logic because I realized I was always making the evens bigger than the odds, but I get the feeling that that's always going to be true, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Okay, so we have 1 and 3 that adds to 4. We know there's a 6 in here, so we got to get 4 more. So this has the 4 in it as well. So it's going to be 4 and 6 adding to 10 versus 1 and 3. No, it should be 2 and 6 adding to 10. Sorry, 2 and 6 adding to 8. What am I talking about? I needed 2 more. Wow, I got confused. I got sidetracked. That was the issue. So 2 plus 6 is 8. 1 plus 3 is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. That matches our clue. Perfect. Now, this isn't a 2 because this can't be a 4. The 4 is actually here. This is 4, 2, and 4. And so this can't be a 2, making it a 3. Why do I have a 1, 3 pair down here, though? Oh, I didn't mark 6 in any of these. Okay, so this can't be a 2 because 4 can't go there. So this is 3, putting a 4 there. And this is our 2. Okay, and that's 1. All right, let's mark evens and odds here. These are all even. These both are odd. These are odd as well, since we found where the even is. And then we don't know the order of these yet. All right, so now we know, remember this had to be 2 evens and 2 odds, so this can't actually be a 6. Otherwise, we'd be adding to 12 here, and we'd need a single odd that was 12. That's definitely not going to happen. So this is a 1, and it's odd. This is an even 6. All right. So now this adds to 6, so these two need to add to 6, so this is an odd 5. They could have repeated, but they ended up not repeating. There's a 4 down here. All right. We know this isn't 1 or 3 or 4. So it's down to 3 digits. It's either a 2. It's not 4 or 5. So it's 2 or 6. It's not 1 because the numbered room. It's not 3 because the numbered room. And it's not 4 or 5. Okay, so it's even. Is it the 6? Is it the 2 here? So this 2 is quite limited. It's not a 1. It's not a 2 because of the numbered room just naturally. But we also can't put a 2 here or here. So it's actually just a 4 or a 6. And it's not a 6. So it actually must be a 4. It's the only place this 2 is going to work. All right, that works out. So this is a 5, 6 pair. So this can't be 6. It's a 2. Very nice. 6 is one of these two. This is a 1 or a 3. Oh, the 2 tells us 3 goes here, though, so that's 1. These are both odd. This is the only place for 4. It's even. So this is a pair. This is a 3, 6, and this is a pair. It's a 1, 5, and 1, 5. They're both odd. We know the order. That's 1 and 5. Okay, we should do the 6 at some point, but Sudoku might be able to help us with that. We need a 2, 3, 6 here. It's not a 6. What else do we got going on? This is, yeah, let's do these 3 digits. We need the 1, 3, 6. That's not 3, that's not 1. So again, we need 2 evens, 2 odds here. And our difference is 6. That's pretty big. Now we can repeat. We could do like 6, 6 here. What would happen if we did that? That would be 12. And then we would need 1, 5 here, or 3, 3. Well, this can't be a 3, so it would be 1, 5. We could do 6, 6 here as well. And this would be 1, 5. Okay. I don't know if that's the only way to do it. We could do 1, 3 for the odds. Is there any way for so the biggest odds can be is 3, 5, which is 8. And so we're not making the evens 2. So the odds aren't the bigger digits. The evens are the bigger digits. So if the evens were as big as possible, 4, 6, that's 10, then we could do 1, 3. The only place 4 could go is here. So this is very open. I guess that's the conclusion. But this is down to 3, 6 only. 2, 3, 6, 1, 3, 6. Oh, this is the only place for 1 in the row. That's probably going to help. All right, and that's odd. And now this is a 6, so that's even. Get the 3, 5, and 6 here. These are odd. This is even. Right, this is a pair. 1, 1, 4. So this is the 1 and the 4. And then this pair is 2, 5. We know that 4 is even and 1 is odd. So here's our 2 evens, 10. So this has to be 1, 3 to get it to 4. That makes a difference of 6, and that should finish things. We get the 2 and the 6 and the 5 and the 3. We get the 5 and 2, 6, and let me finish the coloring before we accidentally finish the puzzle first. That would be awful. All right, coloring's done. That's a 3. All right. Cool puzzle, Palfly. I feel like there were very fair deductions that just took me a little bit to like get to, but yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed that. Got to pull up my crayons, which was always nice. Very nice. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy our theme week. Every puzzle, including this one, 7 puzzles in a row, will all involve parody in some way. And if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.